some soup dumplings. The first step takes a little bit of time. You have to make kind of a soup jelly, almost like chicken jello, except it's brown. It's not the most appealing part of the process, but it is essential. So what we're going to do is mix this gelatin here, that's 0.2 ounces, 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, a tablespoon of chicken powder, and 2/3 of a cup of hot water. So first step, we're going to make the water hot. And while that water is heating up, I'm going to start adding the ingredients to this pan, because this is where I'm going to be doing the chilling. So we're going to take the gelatin and just kind of dump it out there. A tablespoon of this. Now this is chicken powder. The recipe calls for chicken powder. This is more like chicken bouillon. Apparently there is this stuff called chicken powder that's literally just powdered chicken, but I couldn't find it anywhere, even at the Filipino supermarket. So I'm going to use this and hope that it's okay. So 2 of these should be enough. You can hear the water starting to heat up. It heats up very quickly with a butane stove. Okay. Well, I probably should have done this in a bowl. Well, I got a few lumps. I think those are lumps of chicken powder. But that's okay. I don't think it's going to matter. And so the idea here is that this is going to gel, and that lets you scoop the soup into these little flat wonton wrappers without it leaking out right away. And then as it cooks, the protein breaks down and it will leak out. All right, it's time to cook the soup dumplings. So here is that gel stuff I made earlier, and you can see it is a jelly now. First thing we're gonna do is fluff that up. And then we've got the ground pork here. Unfortunately, I forgot some of the ingredients. It's supposed to have scallions and fresh garlic, and I forgot both of them. And I am way out in the middle of the woods right now and have no way to go get these. So I scrounged around the van, and this is what I found. I found some green onion garnish that goes with miso soup, so I'm going to add that. And I found some Justice from Penzeys spices. I also found some chopped onions that I think I'm going to add anyway. Honestly, I don't think it matters that much. I think you can spice the pork any way you'd like, but the idea is you take the pork and make little balls out of it, and then you put them in the wrapper here. Now you're supposed to use dumpling wrappers. I couldn't find any. I went to a bunch of stores, could not find them, but these pot sticker wrappers are supposed to be close enough, so we're going to try that. And then this, I'll show you. I'll just show you. So the fluffing, I think it's really just to make it so you can actually make it into pieces. They call it fluffing. It's really just kind of breaking the jello up. And it really is kind of just chicken soy jello at this point, which is kind of disgusting if you think about it. Yes, this is going to have pork, chicken, and beef products in it. Now, I know a lot of people like to make meat balls with their hands and stuff. It's really not my thing. I don't like touching it, but I'm going to because it's the ingredients. But remember, I don't have all the right ingredients, so I'm going to add some miso soup garnish. I don't know what that's going to do. I see croutons. Chopped onions. pretty. And some sriracha. Yeah, let's give it 2. What the heck. Then a little bit of justice. Ooh, that was a bit much. All right, now the part I hate. I'm going to leave the shot so that you can focus on the yummy, yummy pot stickers. So you take your wrapper here, and they're very, very thin, so you want to make sure that you only grab one. You put that puppy down here, and you take a little bit of meat. Not a lot, just a little bit. That might even be too much there. And then a bit of the soup jello. Like that. That's probably too much too, but you know. Now the water here, in here, is for sealing it. The water reacts with the wrapper and kind of makes a glue. And then you fold it like a purse. So you fold it in half and you seal that top, and then you bring up the sides, being careful so that everything seals at the top, just like a drawstring purse. Yep, some of the soup's escaping on me. As long as that seals at the top, though, you're fine. And so there is a little soup dumpling.
Let's do a couple more.
I don't have a bamboo steamer in the van. I have a pot. But I did manage to bring this. And that is your plain old dollar store steamer. And my thinking is that I can make this work if I take some precautions and spray it with some of this Pam here. And you want enough water that it's not going to boil dry, but not so much water that the soup dumplings get touched by water, because you're supposed to steam them. We're not trying to boil them here. All right, now I'm going to carefully place them all on here. The pasta will dissolve in water, so if they do get wet, well, then you might end up with wonton soup. And cook it for 5 minutes. And while you're waiting for it to cook, don't be afraid to drink the rest of the sake. Now, James Bond said it was supposed to be served at 98.6 degrees or something like that. In reality, you can drink it any way you'd like, and this is lukewarm. I'm good with that. Cheers. Or whatever cheers is in Japanese. That should be it. Turn that off. Take off the lid. Use tongs because this is super hot. And let's see what we've got. Well, look at that. Those look like soup dumplings. Now, the traditional way to eat these, or at least what they tell Americans, is you pick one up and put it on the spoon, like this, very gently. Oops. Like that. And then you're supposed to burst it so that the soup will flow out. And I suspect they tell you this so that you won't burn yourself, because I bet they're not actually supposed to be eaten like this. But you can see there's soup there. And then you drink the soup. Salty. And then you just eat the whole thing. That is a soup dumpling. I made soup dumplings in my van. I'm kind of amazed by that. And they're good. They're really good. These are one-of-a-kind soup dumplings. Nobody else has ever used this recipe before, I guarantee you. I'm positive that nobody has used gas station chopped onion packets that have been sitting in a van for 2 years in their soup dumplings before. But I did. And I'm glad I did because they're yummy. So, ladies and gentlemen, there you go. Soup dumplings in a van. You made me make them. I did. They're excellent. I'm thrilled. And I'm going to have a lovely meal with my sake and my soup dumplings. Thank you very much. And thank you also to my ever-suffering wife, Jen, who sat with me and made me go through this whole process so I'd have some idea of what I was getting into in the end. I think all the success is due to her. So thank you, Jen. You are the very best. And I gotta go. Thank you to Trader Joe's for the backup plan if this didn't actually work. Always have a backup plan.